Welcome back to another episode of the 5060 Show. I'm your host, Scoobs. And again, as you guys can tell, Coach Rosie is not here today. He is on our injury reserve list this week. But again, we will have him back next week for, I guess you can call it week 17 as far as the NFL goes. And we will see him back then. Um, Again, last week was pretty crucial. A lot of good games, few bad games, bad weather, things like that. But again, always entertaining to watch. But again, my week was pretty good. It's a pretty productive week overall. Just taking it day by day, trying to get some rest, trying to catch back up on a few things. But not going to complain about a boring weekend. Not going to complain about any of that because, again, at least I got to watch some good football, enjoy some pizza at the same time. And now here we are in the next week, man. So can't can't really complain too much. So let's get into this week 15. As you can see, me and Rosie, it came down to the wire once again. It came down to the last game of the week. But again, we ended up in a nice draw, nice little draw. So again, thank you all for your support. Thank you all for choosing. And, I guess apparently some people are making their bets and things like that based off some of the picks that we are picking. Again, man, please comment. Please let us know, some good suggestions or why you chose some teams and why you're not choosing some teams that we are picking. We would love to hear about all of that. So again, just going down the line, man, I will have to start with just looking at some of the scores. This was probably the Chiefs' first week actually, you know, getting a win by about two scores, really one score more. It's been so many close games, so I will take that. Winning overall at 21-7. So again, we won by two scores. That's something different. Mahomes, kind of banged that ankle up towards the end of the game, but with Carson Wentz stepping in at the last second, he held it down. We kept him 7 points, so you can't ask for too much more. Our defense really did their thing. So again, great job to the Chiefs. And we're moving on next week to the Texans, man. That should be a good little Saturday game. And should be a good little shootout, depending on how our defense is going to respond. But I think we're going to do good overall. Let's see who else, man. I'm not gonna say too much. Bengals, everyone that game was actually pretty horrible, actually, man. I think they actually finally benched Mr. Mayo because the performance overall was horrible. I can't remember if he threw one or two pick sixes, but I mean it was just a horrible game overall. Trying to let's look and see how many. Oh, okay. So Mr. Will Levis, he threw three picks. He threw three picks, but then but then the backup quarterback Mason Rudolph stepped in and he threw for well over 100 yards more than Will Levis, and he actually threw for two touchdowns. So, you know, I'm pretty sure they're going to bench Will Levis from here on out. Joe Burrow's doing what he does. He actually still threw two picks to the Titans as well, but everyone knows the Titans. They've always had a pretty decent defense for the most part. But again, for those football heads like me, we know the type of numbers that Joe Burrow is putting up. So, yes, he doesn't have the best O line and things like that, but he has so many weapons between Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. I kind of forgot who his tight ends is. I believe it's Jasicki. And yeah, I mean, it was Chase Brown, the run. I mean, They have a very good offense overall. He has a lot of pretty good weapons, but um again, defense has got to step it up a little bit. Offensive line has to step it up a little bit to protect him, but it is what it is. Ravens, hey, that was a pretty good game, but again, we're talking about versus one of the worst teams overall in the league. So, you can't really ask for too much more for that. The Ravens beat the Giants 35-14. Lamar Jackson threw for over 290 yards and 5 touchdowns. So again, I know a lot of fantasy owners, whoever has Lamar Jackson, they're loving that. We know he will use his feet as he had to rush a few times, but overall, man, just a great game, man. This shootout, man, this Bills versus Lions game. This was a very good game overall. The Bills ended up on top, man. Josh Allen, he's just proven he's really putting it all out there. Like, man, I deserve this MVP this year, and I also deserve a chance at the Super Bowl. And again, you can tell that he is being that type of leader, and his team is following. His offense is following, and his defense is going to hold it down for him as well. Again, still versus one of the number one overall team in the league, which is the Lions, because again, it still came down. They only won by 6 points, but we know how Jared Goff is playing this season, and we know the weapons that he has as well. So, we can't just count him out too much. But at the end of the day, it came down to probably the last drive, if I'm correct. So Josh Allen, man, good job. He threw for 362 yards and 2 touchdowns. And I'm looking at Jared Goff. If you guys look at his number, he threw for 494 yards and 5 touchdowns. So Goff is definitely, I mean, again, if anybody understands, Goff has been to the Super Bowl, so he understands what it takes to get there. And he gave it all he could. You know what I'm saying? Between both defenses, it was a shootout, but again, Josh Allen, man, I think that's what just separates him, and I guess him and even Lamar Jackson is in that same category. I mean, come on, guys, they can use their feet. You know what I'm saying? They can lower that. They will lower that shoulder a little bit if they have to get that first down, or even just to get in field goal range. Whatever it takes, those type of quarterbacks, that is what they're going to do, man. So congratulations to the Bills. You can definitely tell, they want a shot at the Kansas City Chiefs again, man. So we're gonna keep, working hard and preparing for them because we know that we're gonna have to face the Bills again pretty soon. So good job overall, Bills. I know one game I didn't quite understand. I mean, I get it. But the Falcons versus the Raiders. The Falcons beat the Raiders 15-9, but I don't know if it was just the overall performance that, the Falcons organization did not like because Kirk Cousins, I mean, it was an ugly game again. Again, 15-9, low scoring game. He did Cousins threw for 1 touchdown, and that was really it. That was it. They threw for the touchdown. He threw for 112 yards overall. One pick this time. He didn't throw a whole bunch of crazy picks like he did the other week. I definitely thought that the Raiders were gonna win this game, but I guess it was some type of quarterback switch. I'm not too sure exactly what happened, but Desmond Ritter actually ended up starting this and for the Raiders in this game versus the Falcons. But again, his numbers were still a little better overall than Kirk Cousins. He threw for 208 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 picks. So again, with that Falcons defense that we all know is still pretty good, that's what really saved them guys, in a good game. And again, last but not least, man, it was actually the Thursday night game, which was the Rams versus the 49ers. Did I pick? Yeah, no, okay. So me and Rosie, we both picked the Rams to win this game overall, but which they did. They did end up winning. Uh it was a real tough call because it was a nasty weather game. We knew it was going to be raining, a lot, and we know it's going to be definitely a ground game. A lot of running and things like that. But again, a lot of opportunities. You know what I'm saying? We also know that this was Dre Greenlaw's first game coming back from that um, horrible injury as far as in the especially in the Super Bowl game. But um, you had Debo Samuels. He just couldn't find his rhythm. I am pretty upset about that as well because I have him on my fantasy team and call it what you want. He was one of the reasons why I am not advancing to the championship rounds. So I'm pretty upset about that. But I just don't like it when some of the most talented wide receivers or running back, whatever. I just don't like when, they kind of hoop and cry about not getting the ball, not getting the receptions, not getting snaps, whatever the case may be. Okay, cool. So now we're definitely gonna log you in. We're going to get you a lot of touches to that football, man. And again, he did not do what he should have done. A lot of people are going to kind of blame the weather on this. Uh, but again, hey, if you played in the weather, if you play football, soccer, you play, certain outdoor sports like this, then like this is what you train for. You know what I'm saying? You train about a half a year, off the field, on the field, in the ground, whatever, in the sand. You train for this. So again, it's called the professional leagues for a reason. So again, when a lot of these grown men get to complaining and because things are not going their way, it's like, hey, cool. We're gonna get you the ball, man. Don't even worry about it. Boom, we get you the ball, and then you disappoint us. You know what I'm saying? So again, it was definitely a nasty game for the Rams and the 49ers. But again, man, Rams came on top. Rams came on top. 49ers, they are kicked. They are no longer they're not making to the playoffs. They're done for this season. So I believe the next what, 3 games, 2 or 3 games, it is what it is, man. They just gotta play just to at least place, somewhere and figure out some of the adjustments that they're gonna start on making for next season. Now, speaking of making adjustments for next season, man, in this same game
Get him
of the
chopping.
Rams versus 49ers, this week's segment on Get 'em
Get him
as
chopping.
far as Get 'em chopping, man, is going to, man, Devondre Campbell. I mean, again, if any look his name up, I'll have his name up, boom, right there. Mr. Campbell, Mr. Devondre Campbell, man, you definitely got to get him
Get
chopping
him
this
chopping.
week, man. Um, I really wish Rosie was here. And again, we're probably going to bring this gentleman up next week as well. Um, because again, I'm gonna start off by saying this: football is a team sport, right? But and again, I want to bring this up with Rosie when he comes back next week because Rosie and we played on the same football team in high school. But our high school was pretty different from a lot of other high schools because it really is a brotherhood. It is, I mean, is that is really what the definition is of our school. I mean, it really is a brotherhood. Chant, we call it hit squad, but at the same time, you couldn't even be on our team if you did not put in the work off the field, if you're not putting in the work on the field, in the weight room, in the classrooms. I mean, it was really one of the best experiences, and I couldn't ask for a better team for all 4 years that I played. You know what I'm saying? There's just no other way I would have had it. You know what I'm saying? Um, Now again, going back to Devondre Campbell, this gentleman, he walked off the field, man. He walked off the field in around the third quarter, all because now again he's a linebacker, but again the actual starting linebacker who has been he's been on IR, he's been injured this entire season all the way up until what week 15. So again, it's been the big news probably like what the past couple days before that Thursday night game. Hey, Dre Greenlaw's coming back. Dre Greenlaw's coming back. Boom. He's coming back, he's coming back. Man, hey, he finally got in there. Uh and again, Devondre Campbell felt some type of way about that. For those that don't understand, they signed Devondre Campbell on a 1 year contract because they knew that he has the talent, he's going to hold it down, but at the same time, no. They know that he should have known that when Greenlaw comes back, you will be going back to our bench. You know what I'm saying? The season is almost over, whether we make it to the Super Bowl or not. That's on you. You know what I'm saying? But this is the contract. This is what needs to be understood. So again, Devondre Campbell, you definitely have to get him chopping.
Get him chopping.
You cannot get upset, show your emotions, get in your feelings for something like this. Because at the end of the day, there are other players who actually have more serious situations than what he had. He was just butt hurt and mad that he actually had to go to the bench, But again, if you've been knowing probably all week and things like that about this about Dre Greenlaw coming back, who everyone on that team understands that he is our starting linebacker, then there is no reason why you should just want to walk off the field just because this man is coming back. He's making his debut back on that field. So again, Devondre Campbell, you definitely got to get him chopping,
Get
man.
him chopping.
The last remark I'm gonna make on this topic is, I just, I think one question to really, I was really trying to picture in my head is Dre Greenlaw. He has been injured, correct? Now, because of that, he's still in the film room. He's still, I'm sure he's still on the field during practice. Even if he's on the side, even if he has to talk to all of his linebackers, or if he's just standing in the back with all of his linebackers. We know that Dre Greenlaw was present at the majority of the, practices, games, workouts, things like that. Because again, he's recovering, he's healing, but we know that he is there. So from my point of view, I really wonder, like, what are the conversations? Is Devondre Campbell, is he like learning things from Dre Greenlaw? Is he, like, or is he just like ignoring them, man? Whatever. I ain't trying to hear what you talking about, man. I'm starting. You're not. You're hurt. Blah blah blah. So again, for me, that was like the one thing that really popped in my head when Dre Greenlaw is present with the rest of the linebackers. You know what I'm saying? Because trust me, he's there. We know it. What's the tension? You know what I'm saying? What's the atmosphere like when he's there? That's all I want to really know. Was it just negative? Was it just awkward? Or again, was it just more type of, was Campbell really listening, or and were they all just supporting each other? So that was my real big question that really popped in my head. So again, guys, please comment. Let me know what you guys think that was really going on in the locker rooms, in the practice, or even outside of just the whole facility. You know what I'm saying? Where they hanging out with each other. Give me some insight, man, because to me, this is like it's like ridiculous that we have players in the NFL walking off the field. I mean, again, we seen it with AB, we seen it with Antonio Brown. But I don't know, with that situation, we all knew it. AB was crazy though. We all knew he had stuff mentally going on with him. Uh, and again, me personally, you know what I'm saying, dude definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. All the work he put in and things like that. But me being a father, me being a parent, uh, with the type of mindset that he had, I really was wondering, like, man, I hope he's okay around his kids, or hopefully his mother or baby mom. Hopefully they are all supporting him and trying to keep his mind, you know what I'm saying, in a good place, because um I don't know. I mean, I feel like the whole mental health is nothing to play with, you know what I'm saying? So, but again, there was no signs of Devondre Campbell, having issues, or again, nobody, or let's just say Campbell, he's not speaking out on this situation. So that's what makes it kind of hard to figure out what's really going on. So, man, guys, hey, put in the comments, send it to me on Instagram or whatever the case may be. Let me know what's going on with this, because I truly feel like it's nothing to play with, but we're all professionals. You got the rookie wide receiver Pearsall. I talked about this early in a podcast episode, how he got shot. I mean, he literally was getting robbed walking out of a shopping store, and he got shot in a attempted robbery, right? Got shot in the chest. And yes, he came back, from off IR, and I mean made a great appearance. Um, no, his stats are not probably what they should be, but you have to understand he's only a rookie, man. Like, and the fact that you got shot in the chest, and then you just like, oh, I'm still going to play in the professional leagues. I don't have no PTSD. I'm not scared. I'm not scared to go outside. I'm not scared to just travel and do everything with my players like I was already doing, right? But the fact that he can just still bounce back from that and play his role as a rookie, you know what I'm saying? That just speaks volume, man. That's how the professional leagues are supposed to be. Your character is definitely important in any sport, in any profession, anything you do. So, you know, I just want to really highlight those type of situations, man. You have Trent Williams, and it was another player as well on the same teams. Both of those players actually lost a child, like one of their own seeds, this season, right? So I mean, there's a lot going on that team, but there's a lot going on with every player overall, man. I mean, I get it. We're talking about losing, family. Um, I mean, hey, one player got shot. This dude, Devondre Campbell, is just butt hurt because his time was coming. He knew he had to get on that bench, and he did not want to face it. So he just said, I just don't want to play. I don't feel like playing." And he just walked out, walked back to the locker room around the third quarter. So I just think that's so unprofessional, and I think it's ridiculous. And the last thing I'm gonna say is good job to the 49ers organization, because again, instead of them releasing him and letting him go, they actually suspended him for 3 games, which is basically the remaining regular season games of the season. And that ensures that he won't go anywhere else. He won't even get the chance to go to another team. He's just gonna have to take whatever money they already paid him, or whatever the case may be, and he won't be able to go anywhere else to make any new type of contracts, or any new money, or not anything like that. So I think, for those that don't understand, that is probably way more. That's a punch in the face. Forget a slap in the face. That's a punch in the face for embarrassing our organization. And I mean, just for turning your back on all your brothers, man. So Devondre Campbell, you got to get him chopping.
Get him chopping.
Get him chopping. Get into some more positive news as far as just football goes now. I just got on Devondre Campbell's top. Now, this past week, man, the 89th Heisman Trophy winner, man, it's Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter, man. 2024 Heisman Trophy winner. And again, the 89th Heisman Trophy winner. Travis Hunter, everyone who does not know, he is a wide receiver slash DB for the Colorado Buffaloes. Um, Again, I'm just going to read some of his stats. As far as a wide receiver, a total of 92 receptions. Um, he has 1,152 yards and 14 touchdowns, right? Now, that's as a wide receiver. As a DB, he had 31 tackles, one forced fumble, which made the highlight of the week. I don't know how many times this dude makes the highlights of the week, but he actually forced a fumble on the goal line. On the goal line, forced fumble, ended the game. Buffaloes win. Ooh, anyway, let me calm down. And he also had four interceptions. Not to mention one or two of those interceptions were like game-winning interceptions too to shut it out, shut it out. So again, man, congratulations to Travis Hunter. We've been talking about this guy, I don't know how many times as far as just, speaking on just some college football, but he's definitely made our highlights a few times this football season as well. So Travis Hunter, man, congratulations. We know he's gonna enter the draft overall, and rather he's playing offense or defense, he's gonna just make a lot of noise. He's gonna sell a lot of tickets too, man. I just can't wait to see him in the future. um, and again, sky's the limit for him, man. He's just such a bona fide player, man. So congratulations, Travis Hunter. Now, as far as some of these college football games go, I mean, there are quite a few games. As I'm looking at them, you have this Indiana Notre Dame game. I mean, these are some of the teams that are in the playoffs as well. But we have the Indiana Notre Dame game. That bowl game is going to go on. You have that SMU Penn State game, and these are games that are coming on all this week. And it's going to be a good week for football. You have the Clemson versus Texas game as well. Tennessee versus Ohio State. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, there's just a lot of good football that's going on this coming week. So, and again, for those that don't quite understand as well, these some of these games, they're actually the playoffs. This is actually for the college football playoffs, right? So whoever wins between the Tennessee versus Ohio State game will be advancing playing the Oregon. And even the who is this? Even the Clemson versus Texas game, whoever wins that would advance to play Arizona State, right? And again, I know, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about this last week, but it's finally here. So we're just giving people a recap for those that didn't catch it last week, whatever. Oh, you have the Indiana versus Notre Dame game. That cold game, they're gonna whoever wins that is gonna advance and play Georgia. And last but not least, you have SMU versus Penn State. Whoever wins that game will be advancing to play Ashton Genty and the Boise State. Man. So again, a lot of good football that still has to play out. But again, we're all just trying to see who is going to get to that championship game, which is on January 20th, right? So a lot of good football still to come. We just have to get through, so many entertaining bowl games coming up too. But at the end of the day, we're all trying to see the playoff bracket. And again, that will be here momentarily, man. Just tune in, tune in. Now we're in week 16, guys, and again, I know between this, me and Rosie have a few different, just probably like two or three different picks. Because again, it's cracking down to the end of the regular season, and again, it's still it's still kind of up in the air, man. You still have some upsets. I really almost chose the Broncos to win in this game, but I just know how Herbert's playing, and even though I believe he lost let me see. Yeah, they got smacked pretty bad versus the Buccaneers, but again, Buccaneers is a very good team, man. I really give it up to Baker Mayfield. With him doing his thing, Mike Evans he's been back for some weeks now from that hamstring injury. But I mean, it's just so many weapons on that team and great defense too. But anyway, it looks like, let's see. And again, even with this Chiefs game, I really wonder if Patrick Mahomes is going to play. I believe that's still a question mark as they are playing this Saturday. So we are going to see about that. It looks like okay. So look at number three. I chose the Ravens. Rosie chose the Steelers. As we all know, what is his name? Lamar Jackson. He hasn't beaten the Steelers, and these two teams already played once earlier this season, and the Steelers beat them again. So I'm definitely going out on a limb to say that Lamar is about to get his payback. I think last week's game kind of proven just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But we all know how the Steelers are playing. Russell Wilson definitely earned that spot as a starter. But that defense is crazy. So they're probably one of the scariest defenses in the league, you know what I'm saying? And then I also wonder if wide receiver Pickens is coming back. I wonder when he'll be back as well. So good luck on that game because I definitely will be watching that game. um Now let me see. Then we have let me see. That was the one game we had different, and then it looks like okay, number 11. I chose the Vikings. Nope, 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 nope. Said about Bills, right? Oh, I'm sorry. All right, so number 13. Number 13, I chose the Jaguars and Rosie chose the Raiders. Now, this is that's probably another tough call because again, I wonder who's going to be the starting quarterback for the Raiders next, or this coming weekend. But Raiders, I mean, excuse me, Jaguars, let's just see how they end up coming out. That was just a team I had up in the air between these two picks. And it looks like that is it. That's it between me and Rosie, man, as far as our picks. We just had those two games. The Jaguars and Raiders and the Ravens and Steelers, So those are the two games that I know me and Rosie are going to be paying attention to more than anything. Because again, we are both tied up again. So, or no, we're not tied up. He's still up by two. Yeah, he's still up by two on me as far as our picks every week. So he's one, two. I mean, excuse me, he has two on me right now. So I need to win. We keep doing having these draws and things like that. I need to win. No more draws. Rosie, I'm coming after you, man. This definitely concludes this episode of the 5060 show. Again, I'm gonna get on Rosie's head if he ain't back next week, man. I know he got some things going on. But again, we just gonna say he's on injury reserve right now. But I know my guy's gonna push through and make it back so you guys can see him next week. Thank you all for tuning in to this week's show. This is the 5060 show where again I'm your host Scoobs. Please comment, let us know what you guys think about this coming week with between the bowl games, between some of the controversy that's going on in the NFL. And we will continue to give you all the best information that we can, man, to get you guys ready for each week, man. So um thank you all again. Comment, like, subscribe, send it to your football guys. Send it to your husband, send it to your sons. It's all family friendly fun, guys. So, again, tune in for next week. We will see you guys again. All right. We out.